Breaking news! The Steelers just dropped the biggest bombshell of the NFL offseason. And no, this isn't one of those crazy fan theories or fantasy offseason scenarios, it's reality. The black and gold just locked up a future Hall of Famer to lead their offense in 2025. And if you thought things were chaotic before, buckle up, because what's coming next could be a real turnoff for fans. But before we get into all the drama, the deals, and the high-stakes decisions, make sure you've already clicked like if you're a true Steelers fan. It's always great to see fans of all ages supporting the team. And if you believe the Steelers have what it takes to make at least the playoffs this season, write something like, "Go Steelers!" We can go even further. Now, let's talk about him. Aaron Rodgers is officially the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. That statement alone is enough to send shockwaves through the NFL community. The four-time MVP, known for his legendary arm talent and icy composure under pressure, is trading in the green and yellow for the black and gold. And no, the Steelers aren't asking Rodgers to return to MVP form. They don't need him to. The mission is simple: manage the game, free up the run game, capitalize on the big moments, and let the defense do what it does best: dominate. Let's take a look at why this could be one of the smartest moves of the Omar Khan era. Rodgers signed a reported one-year deal worth $10 million base salary, with performance-based incentives. That's half the cost of what the Jets are paying Justin Fields. Let that sink in. The Steelers are getting a top 10 quarterback in NFL history for a fraction of the price. And unlike the Fields experiment, this isn't about potential or athletic upside, it's about delivering results now. Rodgers brings more than just his arm. He's got playoff experience, leadership, and one of the sharpest minds the NFL has ever seen. His turnover-worthy play percentage last season? Just 1.8%, top 5 in the league. And this isn't the same team as last year's 2024 meltdown. This roster is retooled, refocused, and dead set on making one final push for a title before the franchise transitions to its next era. Cam Hayward is still chasing his ring. TJ Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and now DK Metcalf form a defensive and offensive core that screams win now. Pittsburgh isn't rebuilding, they're going all in. Speaking of DK, the Steelers made another massive statement by trading for and paying him as their WR1. But what's brewing now in Steelers Nation is something even more audacious. Rumors are swirling that the team could pursue a trade for Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin. Yes, that Terry McLaurin, one of the most complete wideouts in the league, stuck in contract purgatory with Washington, and reportedly frustrated by the lack of progress in negotiations. McLaurin skipped voluntary workouts, and insiders say his patience is wearing thin. Imagine this: DK Metcalf and Terry McLaurin lining up opposite each other, with Aaron Rodgers pulling the strings. That's a duo that could terrify any secondary in the league. And while McLaurin's price tag would be steep, a potential second-round pick and a contract north of $33 million per year, the talent and production are undeniable. This is a player who has put up 1,000 plus yards in 5 consecutive seasons despite catching passes from Taylor Heinicke, Sam Howell, and Carson Wentz. That kind of consistency is rare. But here's the catch: the Commanders are also in win-now mode. They just added Deebo Samuel, and even though he's lost a step, Washington knows it can't afford to let McLaurin walk without a fight. The reality is, if McLaurin is traded, Washington will likely want a receiver in return, and Pittsburgh doesn't have the right asset to offer. Calvin Austin III? Roman Wilson? Not the kind of names that move the needle. Still, the idea of adding another elite weapon has fans buzzing, especially considering the Steelers also kicked the tires on tight end Kyle Pitts and wideout Allen Lazard, two players with ties to Arthur Smith and Aaron Rodgers, respectively. But let's be honest, Pitts has been underwhelming. Poor separation, drops, and awful blocking grades have defined his NFL career. And Lazard, despite chemistry with Rodgers, he's not the guy you want as your WR2 in 2025. The more realistic, and perhaps smarter, targets for Pittsburgh might be veterans like Amari Cooper or Keenan Allen. Both are still free agents and have been quietly linked to the Steelers since the Rodgers deal went through. They're not WR1S anymore, but either could serve as the perfect complementary piece to DK. Plus, with Rodgers slinging the ball and the Steelers in clear win-now mode, this is a far more attractive destination than it was just weeks ago. No offense to Mason Rudolph, but that's just the truth. Oh, and don't forget Gabe Davis. He visited Pittsburgh recently, but nothing came of it. Turns out his knee still isn't fully recovered. Unless the Steelers strike out on everyone else, Davis likely remains off the radar. So, where does that leave us? The Steelers are betting big on one final run. They've kept Mike Tomlin. They've kept Cam Hayward. They've kept TJ Watt. And they've added a legendary quarterback who's got something to prove. But with one last piece missing from this offense, should the Steelers push all the chips in and go after Terry McLaurin? Let us know in the comments. Should Pittsburgh give up a second-round pick and $33 million per year to pair McLaurin with DK and Rodgers? Is it worth the risk? Because here's the thing, this isn't just about McLaurin. This is about what the Pittsburgh Steelers are signaling to the rest of the NFL. They are not playing for next year. They're not waiting to see what they have in Justin Fields or holding onto draft capital for some future quarterback gamble. They are putting everything on the table. This is their Super Bowl window, and they know it. Aaron Rodgers doesn't sign with just any team. He picked Pittsburgh because this roster is loaded with talent that just needed a competent quarterback to tie it all together. And now, with Rodgers in town, the front office knows they have to build the perfect storm around him. That means high-level route runners, reliable red zone targets, and playmakers who can shift momentum in the blink of an eye. Terry McLaurin fits that bill in every way. But it's not just a matter of fit, it's a matter of strategy. The Steelers still need to negotiate a long-term deal with T.J. Watt, arguably the most important player on the roster. His impact on the field is undeniable. Without him last year, the defense crumbled, and this front office knows it can't risk losing him or distracting from those talks with massive cap hits elsewhere. McLaurin would demand a contract similar to or exceeding the one DK Metcalf just got, $33 million per year. That puts the Steelers in a cap gymnastics situation, and while they could backload his deal or restructure other contracts, it would require serious creativity. Then there's the looming reality of the 2026 NFL Draft. With Rodgers on a one-year deal and no true long-term answer at quarterback yet on the roster, Pittsburgh is positioning itself to draft its next franchise QB next spring, right in their own backyard. Pittsburgh is hosting the draft. That's the kind of stage where this organization plans to make its next defining move. And giving up a premium pick in that draft to land McLaurin now might cut into their future flexibility to trade up for a quarterback. So what's more important, going all in for 2025 or protecting your future? If the Steelers truly believe they can win it all this year, and they just might, they'll need every weapon they can get. A trio of Rodgers, Metcalf, and McLaurin could become the most dangerous offensive combination this team has had since the Killer Bees era. But it also means putting off the future just a bit longer, trusting that next year's draft will still bring them their next QB even without that second-round pick. Now, if Washington doesn't budge on their trade stance, and let's be honest, they probably won't unless things completely unravel in their own camp, then the Steelers might pivot to the more cost-effective, low-risk veterans still on the market. Amari Cooper and Keenan Allen might not be as explosive as McLaurin, but they bring experience, technical polish, and immediate chemistry potential with Rodgers. And importantly, they won't cost a draft pick, just cap space. That flexibility could prove critical if the team wants to add depth mid-season, or maneuver in next year's draft. But it all comes down to one thing. How far are the Steelers willing to go to chase a ring in 2025? That's the million-dollar question. Will they play it safe, protect the future, and hope Rodgers and Metcalf can do enough? Or will they go full throttle, mortgage some draft capital, and give Rodgers the ultimate arsenal to launch a title run? Let me know in the comments. Should the Steelers go all in and make the bold move for Terry McLaurin? Or is it smarter to keep the powder dry and wait for 2026 to land the next franchise quarterback? And if you've made it this far, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We've got more deep dives coming your way. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's next. Click the video on your screen now for the latest updates on the Steelers minicamp and player workouts. Go Steelers!